What's up, y'all? We got Rob Trigg here, Jet Lending. Rob's you're not used to going live, man. This is live. Like, there's no edit. Like,
there's no edit.
There's no editing. Like, you start talking bad about Marines, you're not gonna be able to cut it out. Like,
hey, there was a time where I used to do a live broadcast every morning on my way to work, and I kind of got away from that the busier I got. So now I'm constantly taking phone calls when I'm on my way to work. So
what time do you get to work?
I usually get to work around 8:30, 8 to 8:30, but man, my phone starts ringing about 7 o'clock every morning.
Man, guys, I got to know Rob. We had a little training session. Never met Rob. I'd met Alex and Eddie, of course, but I never met Rob or Johnny or any of the guys. And these guys are the most down to earth. We had such a good time.
Oh, it was fun. It was.
I don't even know. Like, I don't know how y'all do it. Like, who passed out at the pool? What was his name?
Trey Davis.
Trey Davis. We got 4 noise violations from the hotel. Trey took a nap, woke up, went inside, came out, rejoined the party, and then it got shut down after.
Yeah,
that.
he came in strong, like I'm back, and then we're like, hey, we gotta go.
they kicked us out. So what's up? Jet's real big in Houston. I've made a commitment to growing out into the state of Texas. Got people in Dallas. We've done a few loans in Dallas. We got San Antonio, done a loan in San Antonio. Mm-hmm. So reaching out to other markets, what would you want to tell people about Jet compared to other hard money lenders?
I would say comparatively to other hard money lenders, it's accessibility. You talked about it in our training, and it's 100% truth. When I was first starting out as a loan officer, I would sell Eddie Gant hard. Like, you have access to one of the biggest home investor franchisee, period. I mean, you get 100% access to his knowledge, the ability for him to look at your deal, evaluate it, and let you know, hey, this is where we see the numbers. This is where we're projecting the numbers. Is this a good deal or a bad deal?
He told us something in that meeting. I swear to God, what did we do? A day and a half?
It was a day and a half.
I soaked up. I mean, we've done a lot of deals for the time we've been in this business, but I soaked up so much just from being in the aura of Eddie Gant. And he told us about pendings versus actives.
Yeah.
P versus A.
P versus A, yeah. He looks at that big time, especially in subdivisions that are not moving. If they're not moving, your days on market go up really high, and that's going to eat into your holding costs big time.
Big time.
And there's a lot of investors don't pay attention to that because they're relying on a realtor to tell them if it's a deal or not. Typically
that was huge because I always look at days on market.
Yeah.
Days on market is more of a reflection of the product. It's not a reflection of the neighborhood. It's like a real good product, a real good layout, a real good floor plan will sell fast. You know what I mean? Yeah. Reflection of the neighborhood as a whole is how many pendings versus actives is there? How many people are trying to buy a house in that neighborhood right now versus not? And then you look at it over time historically and graph it out. I mean, that part was huge for me.
But it's typically in your higher dollar neighborhoods, they're not moving as fast. Or down here is, we see it a lot in the flooded areas. You got a lot of actives, not a lot of pendings, not a lot of solds. So that's a telltale that you're going to have issues selling it, and it's not going to sell for what you think it's going to sell for. So
well, I tell you, we're underwriting a deal right now. I think you're involved in the apartment complex down in Corpus.
Yeah,
you've probably seen it.
I got y'all that point of contact yesterday for appraisal, right? Y'all got that?
We got that.
Okay.
Everything, guys, I can tell you. We just did a loan with Jet before we became a lender for Jet. We approached them about a 16-unit apartment complex. these small apartment complex, that's what a good portion of your lending is right now, ain't it, Rob?
Yeah. I've done a few of them for a good team down here. I don't know if you ever heard of Mr. Texas Real Estate, Jason Bible, and Robert Orfino. We've got another one that's about to close this week. It's a smaller deal than the first one, but they love those multifamily down here in Houston. They love them. So
well, you could force appreciation, but there's a lot of lenders that won't touch them.
Yeah.
We just did underwriting for a RV park. We couldn't get the guy to come off some financials that we needed. It was kind of a weird back and forth with him, but we stepped right in and started underwriting that deal where a lot of people, kind of shy away from that commercial stuff. At least in my experience, whenever we first started reaching out to hard money lenders, we couldn't generate that kind of business. Jet has gone, y'all will look at anything. You'll underwrite anything. It might be a no at the end of the day, but you're better off asking and hearing a no than keeping the question to yourself and missing out on a deal.
Absolutely. And that's, I did a testimonial. I don't know if you saw it, but we just launched it this morning. And I'm not going to mention any names, but last week I got a phone call. A client that I had talked to maybe one time, he had my number saved in his cell phone, called me at 6:45 in the morning, pissed off, angry. Rob, I need your help. I was like, well, tell me what's going on. He's like, this other lender's requiring this, and this, that they want me to use their construction company. And, I had to pay $200 and something for this. It's like, I just don't trust them. I was like, you know what, man, let me see what I can do for you. Literally, we closed the thing the next day. The stars lined up. Luckily, I already had an appraisal on this thing that was never completed. So that a former client had ordered, but the numbers didn't work for him. So the deal died. All I had to do was call up and say, hey, change this, and this. Boom. It was done deal.
Well, and that's, I see a lot of people out there that are saying, oh, well, we don't require an appraisal. To me personally, it's a cheap insurance policy.
It is.
It's good for.
Why wouldn't you want to know what the property's worth from somebody that's looking at the property, that's trained to know what an ARV looks like? Right.
I couldn't think of one reason. We had a deal that we underwrote down in New Braunfels that we were doing a loan on.
Yeah.
The island rights.
The island rights. Yeah, I remember that one.
Imagine having that loan out and getting to the retail sale of that property, because that property, from a square footage perspective, from every part of that deal, it looked like it was going to go 550, 560. And then you find out this is only a $360,000 house because it doesn't have any island rights.
The little things will kill you.
I was like, man, and all that was a deal in the HOA where the person, it wasn't an HOA because you don't have to pay into it, but it's a deed restriction. The person owned all that land. He chopped it up and built houses, or let them build houses, however it went. And he owned an island in the middle of the Comal River.
Mm-hmm.
And as a part of the deal, when he sold it, he would give people that weren't on the Comal River, that were off river properties, he gave them rights to go down to the island. So they could go down a little walkway and go to the island. It was in the deed restrictions.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, he said, these 6 or 7 houses down on this end, no island rights for y'all. And who enforces it? I don't know, but the appraiser caught it, and he's like, man, I've already ran into this deal. I've done this. This property is going to be worth, and it was basically a land evaluation. It was a cost per square foot on the land that was going to be less, that drug the appraisal down. The structure and everything was still worth what it was worth, but the actual land was worth less. So that, from a lending perspective, I felt really good about it. But then, when you have that appraisal, if you're trying to buy that property, all you do is take the appraisal back to the seller and say,
hey, ding, 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 we didn't know about this.
Yeah, this is what it's worth, bro. Here's where I got to get it.
A lot of investors always want the lender to change their numbers to fit, when you should be going back to your seller and saying, hey, this is where I got to be to make my numbers work and to make a profit. Where do you want to be? Somebody once told me one time, and it sticks hard. The only thing you control in a real estate transaction is the purchase price.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's the only thing you have control over.
Yeah. Oh no, I go like I was saying in our training, I was like, I would love to have, a lender letter with an appraisal to go back into a living room with and say, hey, we missed on this, and this is where I got to be able to buy it. This is what they're going to loan. This is what's going to cost me to repair it. Here's the risk I'm taking on, and this is the profit margin I'm going to have to make. Can you come down and meet this price? If not, we can't do business. I can refer you to a real estate agent.
Everybody is scared. Well, I wouldn't say everybody, but most of your investors are scared to go and ask for that. No, basically. Yeah. What is it going to hurt? You're going to piss somebody off you're probably never going to see again.
That's it.
I mean, hey, look, this is a business decision for me. I've got to be at these numbers in order for this business decision to make sense. Right now, it doesn't make sense based upon what the appraisal came in at. Look, we projected the numbers were going to be here. They're not here because of this reason, and whether it be repairs, whether it be the island rights, whatever those necessary adjustments had to be made. Now I've got to purchase this a little bit less for us to make a deal. Do you want to walk away? Because guess what? Your next buyer is going to run into the same situation.
That's right. And we're already here. We can close next day at this price. We just got to get you there. Most people don't want to do that. They don't want to have those hard conversations. I have them all the time. To me, if you're worried about one deal, it's because you don't have a full pipeline. I look at that all the time. It's like, hey, how can I open the top of that funnel up to get more deals in so I don't have to make it or break it on one? You know what I mean?
I use your line here a lot about risk.
Oh, man.
I love that line, man. I'm telling you, I've used it like 4 or 5 times about risk. Like people start complaining about points and rates. The guy was going to shop me. I said, hey, man, look, here's the deal. We're as competitive as any other hard money lender, but I'm taking on this much risk, and I'll lay it out for him. $150,000 loan. You're coming out of pocket $5,000, for example. That's the risk you're taking. I'm taking this much. There's a cost for me assuming that much risk.
That's it.
Dude, they eat it up. They're like, do the loan.
That's it. No, it makes perfect sense. Like somebody wants to come out and say, when they want to harp at you, I'm like, one, you're getting experience. You're getting 5,000 deals worth of experience. Where are you going to get that? You can't go hire somebody that's got $5,000 worth of experience, and you're getting it for what, $700 worth of fees. You know what I mean? It's like the back office. I can't imagine all the people. I've been to y'all's office, but there's ladies in there that work every day. They have a salary. They're not commission based. You know what I mean? That overhead costs money, and it costs money whether or not there's a deal coming in or not. Those fees help cover that. Some of the smaller private money guys, they don't have that extra staff because they're doing it all themselves. Yeah. So, it's like, what do you get with Jet? You get 5,000 deals worth of experience and taking on almost all of the risk. I mean, we've done every loan we've done. The buyer has brought less than $1,600. Less than $1,600. Where can you go buy a house right now for less than $1,600?
You can't.
You can't. And we've got people with all different experience levels closing deals like that, getting loans. And heck, I've been trying to call my boy Austin up to get him back on here, but he bought that property. He bought it. I don't want to say what he bought it for, but he bought it for less than $70,000, significantly less than $70,000, and he's got a contract on it right now for $125,000.
He wholesaled it?
Yeah, he wholesaled it. He had to bring $600 to closing. $600. And the only reason he had to bring $600 is because he didn't get his binder right with his insurance. He didn't pick, like we assumed he was going to take this insurance, and he went with this other insurance, and the other insurance was more expensive. So, all the paperwork was prepared to pay this insurance company, and then they had to pay another one $600 more. And that's just life. But I mean, he would have had to bring $0 to that closing and look at the money he's going to make, 30, 40, 50, whatever it's going to be. Yeah. So yeah. And we took on all the risks. So that's amazing. What's the deal you're working on right now? Tell us a cool story. I want to know some nitty gritty, some drama.
Man, I tell you what, let me look at my pipeline real quick here and give you a success story real quick. Oh man. Hey, I got a guy, his name's John. he always teased me about my photo, man. I'm like, hey, it's professional. What do you want? What do you want?
Hey, look, they got your number now. You can call Rob. There you go.
You just call me anytime. I tell you what, I got one over in Corpus right now. This client, his name's Bert DeVera. He's a very, very unique guy, and he called me on a deal. The first deal he did, nobody would take a risk on him. And I was like, why? Well, why not? Credit's not the greatest. He's a doctor, he's gone through a divorce. He had some life events happen to him, Right. And I believe he went through a divorce. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. He had some life events happen. He's trying to rebuild his credit. I said, well, let me take a look at the property. Took a look at it, got his realtor on the phone, pulled some comps, gave him the numbers, said, hey, you do this deal, we'll do more. And, I'll get you some better rates and terms on the second one. If you do a good job. He did an excellent job. Rehabbed, got in, out fast. We're working on the second one right now. And I'm telling you, I couldn't be more impressed with this guy. He did a testimonial last week for us, and really, really appreciate that guy. I really do.
Well, I just love the fact how many other lenders will go into Corpus.
Exactly.
And
there's not a lot.
We're on a short list.
Yeah.
Short list. And I've got a lot of I've been down to their club down there. I know that whenever they get that thing started, I'm going to be going down there. I'll probably see if you want to meet me down there.
Heck yeah, man.
It's a really good investor club that they've got there. But yeah, Corpus is a market that we've got 2 properties. We bought and sold 2 properties there ourselves. We love it. Anytime you're working on something down there, it's a pre-tax trip down. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Get Uncle Sam to buy the fuel for you so you can go fishing. That's always fun. But the thing about it is, I just love the market. I love the people. I love the investors. I love the culture of the investors. So I hope to be generating, as far as Jet, I hope we can get our name out there in that market as somebody that they need to do business with.
Oh, it's definitely getting out there. It's definitely getting out there.
Dude, I'm stoked that you're doing loans there, because I was like, man, if I'm gonna sneak into Corpus, I'm gonna go down there and start ruffling some feathers, and I might have the market cornered. But now that I know that Rob's already doing loans, because the thing about it is, we can go to bat for a client. We can say, hey, we really want to do this. This is a good client, and we can always come to y'all and say, guys, this client's got $200,000 in the bank. He's, this is a $60,000 purchase, and he's done X number of deals. I think he'll be a good client. Let's get this first deal launched, and y'all will listen, like you said, if they got poor credit or something else going on in life that otherwise would get them disqualified from another lender.
Yeah. I tell you what, there's not a whole lot of markets that I'm not in.
Really?
I have military friends all over the state of Texas, and they're starting to get into this investing thing, and they're constantly sharing my content that we put out there. And I get phone calls all the time from Killeen. I'm big in Killeen right now. I've got some investors over there that I used to party with, back in my earlier days. Now we always joke they're investors now. Now we're worried about the money instead of the beer,
That's it.
It's funny how full circle life can come, and it's crazy.
The best time I had with y'all was listening, because you were in the Army, retired from the Army, 23 years, correct?
21 years.
21 years. Thanks for your service. It was, that did 23. But anyways, Cody is a Marine, is a Marine.
Former Marine, yes.
There's no such thing as a former Marine.
Yes, it is. That's what they call themselves. That's a former Marine. They're never not, out. They'll say, I'm a Marine, or I'm a former Marine, or something like that. I don't know exactly how it goes, but they're all gung ho.
The best was listening to y'all argue about what happened in Fallujah. I was like, wait, what? We're talking about like a real life war here.
Right. Hey, that's real stuff right there. Hey, I was on a chopper mission that we had to go in and pull a bunch of Marines out And boy, you would think that he was there, and he was not there. But, you know, the way we argue, I'm like, I had to pull your ass out.
No, I was listening to it. I was like, wait a second. These guys met in Fallujah while Rob's like a gunner on a helicopter flying in to get him. And Cody's like, we were down there on the streets kicking doors in. I was like, wait a second. Is this real life?
Hey, that's my brother right there, man. Brother from hey, let me tell you something about this guy, okay? I wish we could get him on this, and maybe we will later. I'll give you a little story about Cody, and I love him to death. I really do. So my wife, she knows I love cars. I do. That's one of my things. I love cars. I made a mistake a couple of years back. Sold my Corvette. You know, just a dumb mistake. So ever since then, I've wanted to get it back in my driveway, or get one back in my driveway. Well, we're pregnant. We got a baby on the way. And, you know, I saw this beautiful white, God, it was beautiful, Grand Sport. What do they call the new ones? Anyway.
ZR6.
Huh?
ZR6 or something.
No, it's a Grand Sport. Is beautiful. Just anyway, the 2018. We literally could have put it in my driveway. So she drives up to I was like, take me up there. And she's like, if I take you up there, I'm dropping you off, and you can figure out a way to get home. I'm like, all right, take me up there.
Buy the Corvette.
Yeah, I'm buy the Corvette. I'll drive it home.
Yeah,
so anyways, I walk in the lobby and I test drive it with this little, I'm going to say he was a douchebag. and so we get back, and he asked me, he's like, so what would you offer on this? I told him my number. He's like, oh, you must be out of your mind. I was like, what? You got it listed for this. This is what I want to pay. What are you asking me for if you don't? Anyways, long story short, I walked off. I was fixing to walk my butt home. And I said, no, let me go back in there. So I walked back in there, and Cody was coming straight for me. He's like, hey, can I help you? I was like, yeah, I don't want to deal with that guy out there. I'd rather deal with you. So he took me back in his office, and we talked and blah, blah, blah. Shot the shit for about 5 minutes. And he went and ran some numbers, blah, blah, blah. He's like, this is the best deal they could do. I said, okay. He's like, Rob, stop. Before you say okay. He's like, man, they're fucking you. I was like, what? It's like, you don't need to do this deal. They're screwing you over. I'm telling you right now, I don't want you to get in trouble with your wife. You know, he's like, I'd rather you go home. And he saw us out there bickering. You know, we weren't fighting or anything. I was just like, I'm going to buy this thing. Anyways, long story short, I walked out of there and called my wife with my tail between my legs. Said, hey, can you come pick me up? It's a long way and it's dark. She's like, you didn't buy it? I was like, no, I didn't buy it. But that resonated with me. It did. It resonated with me. And I said, hey, one day we're going to buy a vehicle from you. So about a month and a half, 2 months later, me and my wife come back from Pittsburgh, Texas, up where I got some family.
I know where Pittsburgh is.
Yeah, we drove right by the same dealership. There was a brand new Cadillac Escalade, semi-brand new Cadillac Escalade out there. She was like, I guess I was on my phone, but we get to the house, and later on that night, we're laying in bed watching TV. She's like, I wonder how much that Escalade cost. I popped up and looked at her and said, what are you talking about? She's like, will you call tomorrow and ask Cody how much that Escalade is going to cost? I said, I did not see no Escalade. She's like, just don't worry about it and call him. So I called him, and we bought that vehicle that very next day. And
then hired Cody away to do loans.
Then Cody stopped me, and I maybe shouldn't put that. When we were driving away in the Cadillac, he pulled me to the side. He said, Rob, what you got for me? I said, well, what do you mean? He's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do something that's going to benefit me long term. I said, I got you. I was like, there's probably fixing to be an opening. Give me some time. Well, we had to make some, decisions around here about another employee. And anyways, long story short, I called him up and said, hey, man, I got a position if you're interested. He came and interviewed. We interviewed him, and we hired him.
Funny thing, Cody was in Roughneck Real Estate Facebook group around that time. He was in the group when he hired out with y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, I mean, he found us on the internet, but he used to work in the oil field too. Did you work in the oil field?
No. Literally, I retired from the Army, came to Houston. My sister and Johnny Hayes is my brother-in-law.
Yep.
He's part owner in this company. They brought me to Houston. Johnny talked about it like, a couple times when I come and visit. Hey, come on down here. We'll get you down in this real estate game, and you'll love it. Blah blah blah. I was like, man, I don't know. I just kind of want to maybe go be a police officer or something like that. Something, just carry on the uniform. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. I'm like, all right, I'll come give it a shot. If it doesn't work out, I can always jump on, real estate, be a police officer later. I got down here and started my real estate license. And then, I went and worked for Keller Williams on a real estate team. And I mean, it kind of worked out, but I, to be honest with you, I didn't like the Saturdays going and showing people 45 houses and then going back to the first one and saying, okay, this is the one we want. Yeah, that's exhausting. So I'd share my frustrations with Johnny, and about a year into being a real estate agent, he called me and said, hey, we got an opportunity over here. We want to hire another loan officer. You think you'd be interested? And I went home and talked. It was during Thanksgiving. Went home, talked it over with my dad, and kind of concerns of conflict of interest. I don't want to be a favorite. I called Johnny and said, hey, look, I want to earn my keep there. I don't want any handouts. I don't want anything like that. I don't want people thinking that you're taking care of your brother-in-law. And long story short, here we are, almost 4 years later.
I mean, look, to be honest, Johnny and Eddie's way of icing down beer. I think
they're still doing it wrong. They're still doing it wrong. You got to take a layer of ice, you put it on the bottom, then you layer your cans, and then you put another layer of ice, and then you layer your cans, and then you put another layer of ice, and then you layer your cans, and then you top it off with a bunch of ice. And you got to have a big cooler because we're going to drink a lot of beer, right?
Dude, the first time I seen Johnny, the first time I ever seen Johnny in my entire life, he was sitting on a cooler of beer in the bed of his truck, sitting outside of a pool gate. So he backed his truck up next to the pool at the hotel and was sitting on his cooler drinking beer. And if you needed a beer, he'd hand one over the fence to you.
Hey, that story about, hey, you can boss me at work, but don't you boss me about how to ice down beer. That's funny as hell.
It's the funniest story ever. Oh, boy. But, well, there's other funny stories. We'll let Johnny tell them. But I was like, what?
Yeah, we need to let Johnny tell some of those.
But, man, the culture at Jet is it's second to none. And if anybody ever has, I mean, where can you get on the phone with the owner of the lending company and express your concerns? You get down to nut cutting time on a loan and things ain't going well. I mean,
I've literally had Eddie pop on a phone call just like that. He's not, he doesn't do it as much, but if you need him, he will. Johnny will get on the phone call in a heartbeat. He'll talk to the client, make them feel comfortable. Long story short, in this hard money is very hard for people to understand as far as, and it took me a while to wrap my head around, there's a cost. Use the cost to benefit you. OPM, other people's money.
That's it. No, you take that $100,000 that you got in the bank right now, and you go put 10% down on 10 $100,000 houses, and you have no security blanket to bail any one of those out. And if they don't give you a draw, they don't give you, you know what I mean? If that lender can't give you a draw and you're out of money and that contractor won't work unless they got a draw, you are screwed. With Jet, take that $100,000 that you got in the bank, let Jet take on a majority of that risk. You know what I mean? Get your draw schedule. And then if something happens and you have to bring money to pay a contractor or something like that because you're in disagreement with a contractor, you can't quite get a draw, whatever that is, you've got your 100 where you need it in your bank account to be able to do that same deal. And you can still do the same 10 deals. You can just keep the majority of that 100 in the bank when you're using Jet. And that 100 is your security blanket against nefarious contractors, all the other things we run into in this business in general. Where I see other lenders that, when they're talking about, how low their fees are or something like that, I'm like, that's fine, but you're requiring them to bring 10 to 15% to the table.
That loan to cost to kill you every time. But
yeah,
you'd be surprised at people that are like, you just do the loan. You know, once you start explaining, hey, your loan to cost place is loan to value, and it starts clicking in their head. Well, hell, that's 100% financing. Yeah, you're less out of pocket. You're less into this deal. You're less risk.
That's it. We're doing it with an apartment complex with Jet right now. Just closed on that loan. Got our contractors lined up. They're going, and it's at the end of our draw schedule, we won't have any money in that deal. We had to bring $14,000 to closing to put 3 payments in escrow to get a $371,000 loan closed. Like, we basically bought a $371,000 property that's going to be worth $600,000 for $14,000. Like, you can't do that. But most people don't think of the numbers like that. They get real caught up on the small things. I'm like, guys, look at the big picture. You're going to need to do 10 of these this year to make real money. And if you empty out your bank account going and buying 10, you're at way more risk than if you keep your money in your bank account where it belongs. And then you run into those snags and problems that we all run into as investors. I mean, I fight with a contractor once a day, even if it's on my terms. You know what I mean? It's like, it'd be my fault that I'm fighting. I still got to do it because I got to stay sharp, because contractors, in this business can be a real Achilles heel for investors.
Yeah. So you got to be careful with them contractors, man. You got to.
Y'all got a loan product in Houston and Dallas. What is it? Keep them contractors at bay.
I will tell you, it's a no draw loan. The name of the company up in Dallas is slipping my mind, but down here it's Fast Track Remodeling. So basically what it is you close with Fast Track and us. They do the estimate, and then you don't have any more money out of pocket at closing. We pay them directly, a third up front, and then we do the draws with them. And it's basically a no hassle loan. After it closes, all you got to do is make your payments. But Fast Track Remodeling, I will tell you this, it's turnkey, and the one up in Dallas is the same way. I can't think their name, but it's the same exact program, and it works out to your benefit to where you are hassle-free after the loan closes.
If you're new, you got a pile of money in the bank, and you're looking to flip a house, I recommend you get on this loan product. We did our first big, large-scale flip, and I don't tell this story often, but we did it. We were doing it with our own cash. First mistake. We had $150,000, $200,000 in the bank, and we take it and go risk it all on one project. That's not dumb. That's not smart. So anyways, we got into that deal. We had a contractor steal $10,000 from us. We had every problem you could think of under the book. I ended up having to lay the sod and build the driveway for the landscaping on this particular property. We sold it and lost $20,000. We sold it and lost $20,000. I want everybody to hear that as many times as possible. We're happy, right? Ecstatic. We lost 9 months of our lives on that project that we'll never get back. Paid for it in the form of a loss. So, it's not the $20,000 that bothers me. It's the 9 months. With these particular companies, they're in and out in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, depending on the size of the scope of the project. There's none of this. You're just stuck in the quay. When they show up, they show up. They're wanting to get in there and get it done because it gets them paid faster, and they know they're going to get paid. There's no mystery about whether or not they're going to get paid or not, like it is when you're, that first relationship you have with a contractor. They're kind of filling you out, you're filling them out. You're like, hey, I need you to come over here and finish my cabinets, and they're like, no, I want to get paid now. And you're like, no, you got to finish painting these cabinets, and then I'm going to pay you. All that back and forth is out of the picture with these guys. They come in, they do the whole job. They do it lickety split because it gets them paid faster. So you're in and out of the project faster. You don't lose 9 months of your life, and they stay on budget. They don't have but to stay on.
When your hold time is reduced, the cost doesn't matter.
No,
because it's gonna offset each other.
Right.
If I could flip a property in 60 days, as planned, 6 months or maybe even longer with another contractor, and I know it's going to be flipped in that period of time, yeah, I'm going to use that every time, especially if I don't want any hassle. I'll tell you a secret. I told one of my clients, he was a first-time investor, I said, man, you need to use Fast Track. And he said, man, their cost. I was like, okay, don't listen to me. You know, that's totally up to you. And I mean, I try to give everybody as much knowledge as possible up front. He stayed in that property 9 months till the rehab was completed. Fast Track's completion date was 90 days, 9 months. Then he almost couldn't get out of it because he had wasted all of his money and all of his credit, brought his credit score down so he couldn't refinance it as a long-term rental like he wanted to. Horror story. Ended up having to put a renter in there and eventually sell it to that renter.
That's and dude, everybody's got
all his money, and he's out of the investment game now. He won't even call me. Won't even call me back.
And if you're new and you've got this in your back pocket, I mean, it's the way to go. It's 100% the way to go. If you're in Dallas or Houston, those products are available. I haven't educated myself on them enough. I don't know what the process is, but Rob's number's right here at the bottom of the screen. So if you got a question,
my glamour shots. Yeah. My glamour shots. Guys, I don't look nothing like that, but you know, I wear polos and jeans to work. So I used to have a real suit and tie on, and everybody was like, "Man, you got to change that crap because you don't ever wear a suit and tie to work."
I was like, "Man, I got to get a jet lending template made." But this will do for now. I mean, it puts your number right where we needed it. So there it is. But imagine jet lending up here to the side of his head. That's where it is in the picture.
It's actually on my shirt right there. If you look, it's actually right there, Jet Lending LLC.
So now, man, dude, I'm super excited to have this opportunity. I told Eddie, thank you. I don't know how many times. Great organization, great people to work with. We're working on getting more efficient. We're new, so you know.
We've got some things in the pipeline for y'all as well to make sure that, you know, if y'all ever need anything, and we're always there for you. You know, I think Alexis on your team she's on top of it. She's always reaching out, always eager to learn, and that's important, especially with any team. Is y'all are most eager to learn about, you know, the product and making sure that you can take care of your clients as well.
We're about to submit one. I'm waiting on it to come in, but guy's got good credit, good capital. He wants to do a BRRRR deal, and it looks like he'll be able to take the final loan product, the 30-year product that we have available right now. One of them, I think a lot of those have been shut down. Other don't have it.
Dude, I've just opened up the faucet on the long term. I'm telling you, I'm fixing to blast some market. I was actually working on that. I'm fixing to blast some marketing and turn the faucet wide open because this non-QM thing we got, it actually makes sense.
Dude, that's what I was telling him. I'm like, look, hey, you know, we've got non-QM loans. We're able to get a couple of them before they turned them off. And I said, you know, as far as I know, we're one of the only lenders that's offering them. The LTV is a little bit lower now because of Corona, but I said, you know, it'll come back. But
it's not that bad though. Like I got a quote today, 70% of on a purchase, 70% of purchase price. I was like, damn, that's pretty good.
Yes, we do. We have a 30-year product. Call Rob at the number below. Facebook user, since this.
Non-QM is back. It's back. I mean, it ain't as good as it was before, but it's pretty damn good.
No, it is. Like, I mean, the interest rates are competitive.
6.25 to 6.75, something like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, people get too caught up on like the mortgage they got at their house. I'm like, dude, this is a completely different underwriting process. You've got to have less capital on hand. You've got to have a lower credit score. I mean, this product, it just and the closing on it, you know, we've closed 2 of them. They're fabulous products, and I think we're only one of the lenders. We tried to do one for a guy in New Orleans. And it was like they, you know, at that moment it was during Rona, and they had cut those LTVs down. Yeah, it was during Rona, and
It was during Rona.
Down, and we were like,
guys, if y'all want to know how country this guy, well, we all are. Just he say Rona. He can't even say the whole thing, because if he says the whole thing, people think he's out there drinking Coronas.
Yeah, I don't know, like, you know.
I got that Rona in my life, you know.
I was replying to some text messages with a program we use, and it wouldn't let me say Corona. It was like it's a blocked word by the carriers now. I'm like, damn. So we're Rona everywhere now. It's like, hey, what's up with that Rona? So
hey, how do I blast some marketing on this thing real quick?
Shit, I don't know. What do you want to blast?
Well, this little slide I got for the 30-year. Can you?
Yeah. What you do is at the bottom you'll see share screen. Hit share screen. You got multiple screens?
Yeah, I got multiple. Hold on, I gotta.
Yeah, throw it up on one of them other screens. Hit share screen, and I'll DJ that thing over. This is a pretty cool program. StreamYard.
What is it called?
This program?
StreamYard?
Yeah, it's called StreamYard. I'm right now. We're live on Facebook in 3 Facebook groups and on YouTube all at the same time.
Oh wow, that is pretty cool.
Pretty cool. And they told me if I emailed them, they'd give me some more Facebook groups. All the Facebook groups that we're admins of, which the San Antonio Investment Group, Austin Investment Group, we got a Waco Investment Group. We did that a long time ago. There's not a lot of people in a lot of them, but man, anyways, it's good to have access to those groups at times. So you see where it says share screen at the very bottom?
Yeah, there we go.
So I hit add to stream, and boom.
There you go, guys. There's the terms for our non-QM right now.
Dude, that's amazing.
There's the terms. Not bad. This right here, down here at the bottom, no more principal and interest reserves. That's what was killing all the deals. Everybody listened to that, and they're like, "What?"
How long? It didn't, but it wasn't that much P&I reserves. The biggest thing about this loan from us, from the investment side, from the investor side, is when you're doing this, it's property specific, and they don't like where a big bank's going to go dive into every deal you've ever done. And, we have a lot of flip inventory, right? So we'll have, let's say we have $1.5 million worth of debt over here that's hard money that's going to get paid off. You know what I mean? Well, they're like, your debt service coverage ratio isn't very good right now. We're like, well, no, we got $1.5 million in dead. You know what I mean? It's not producing any cash flow, but when it sells, and they're like, well, we can't loan to you. It's like,
yeah.
So that doesn't happen on here. Your flips do not hold you back. We've since started a completely different entity and broke things up and do it a little different to kind of keep from having to answer all those questions about that flip inventory. But overall, you don't have to worry about this on these 30-year products. These 30-year products do not. It's more asset based. It's more, hey, how's this property going to pay its own bills? You know what I mean? What's it look like?
As long as it's covered under the debt service cover ratio, we're good to go. We'll close it. No issues. No issues
at all. So yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah, this is good stuff to know.
Hey, let me tell you how easy it is to get a quote. This is how easy it is. And most people are like, what? That easy? Yeah, it's that easy. Let me put this over here. So all you got to really do, and this is the email I sent out, and I just created this yesterday, so I haven't sent it out to y'all. But these are the questions that you have to answer. If you answer these questions, I can get you a quote in 10 minutes.
Dude.
That's it. That's all you got to do. Quote in 10 minutes.
That's awesome. Send that to me. We'll make it a click funnel.
There we go. R2R.
No.
Huh?
Boom. There it is. Done.
Take all that out and you can change the bottom. It's done.
Sorry
there.
That's good. That's good. So what else you got, Rob? Anything else you want to tell the good people of Facebook?
Man, we got an event tonight at this. I can't even think of the name of the place, but hold on. Let me look this up.
Is it the big event?
it is the semi-big event. We're having people come, but the Studio Cantina, the Studywood Cantina at 111 Studywood Street in Houston, Texas, 77008. So it's not exactly the super investor meeting. It's a podcast, but we want people to come mingle. I think people are ready to get out and do some networking, just as long as, if you feel safe to come, then, hey, come on down and, I quit drinking officially for the summer. I've had way too much beer in my system.
That's awesome.
So I've quit drinking for the summer, but come down and have a water and maybe one beer, but that's about it.
Dude, that's great. We're going next week. We're going to be in South Padre, whole company. We're all going down for our annual, I don't know what I call it. We just take all our families. We got a mobile home park down there. So we're going to go down there and work on that mobile home park, put together kind of a rehab plan on it. And while we're down there, we're going to stay at an Airbnb with a backyard. And y'all have seen my daughter walk in and out of the picture. So we're going to take all the kids and let them fight and take them down to the beach and let them fight some more.
Hey, you want to see something precious?
I do.
You've got a precious daughter, but look at this right here, man. This right here, this is my life.
Dude, how old is she?
5 months old. 5 months.
Man.
And that right there, that's what it's all about.
Dude. Well,
that's what it's all about.
At least the people in my Facebook sphere, they all know Emery. She's been my sidekick since I got into real estate. Lucky to have her up here today. A lot of days she don't want to come up to the office. She played me though. See, that's the thing. Like you gotta get ready, Rob, because this morning I asked her, I said, hey, you want to come to the office today? She said, oh yeah, Dad, I want to get up here first. Hey, I want to go eat. All right, we'll go eat. We get back. We're on our way back. She's like, Dad, I really hadn't gone home with Whitley in a long time. Whitley is one of our leasing agents. And she's like, I hadn't gone home with Whitley in a long time. I'd really like to go to Whitley's house tonight. And I was like, wait a second. You just wanted to come to work so you can go ask Whitley if you can go home with her. She did. She walked right up to her. Hey, Whitley, can I go home with her?
Hey, don't hate the salesman.
No, I mean, that's it.
She sold you.
She got it figured out. I was like, man.
Hey, she got it from her dad, and that's all that matters.
Man, little girls are so sweet.
They are
so sweet. Like once she gets to where she can talk and ask you things, you'll wonder what happened. You'll be like, I used to be a badass, but now I only know yes. I don't know what happened.
I'm not a badass anymore. I'm telling you right now. Like you can see on my personal Facebook page, I posted a video last night of Amber. Her name's Amberly. She was just cooing and laughing, and it melts my heart. I'm just like, take me now.
This morning, Emery wakes up. Every day she wants me to cook bacon and eggs. She sets it all out for me and walks by me with an Oreo, and I'm like, what? Are we thugging now? Like what is this? Like, you know what I mean? Like you can't just walk by me with an Oreo before breakfast and not expect me to say something. Like you're being but man, she stole my heart. And anyway,
that's awesome.
She's good people. So anyways, Rob, I thank you for getting on. I think some good information to the people. 30-year product. I
like that Randy Rogers theme y'all stole from either that or River Run. Which one was it?
Dude, here I'll tell you how the logo came to be, because Emery's mom drew one. Okay. She drew one, and we had this rough draft, right? And then we go to this event every year in Phoenix, and I didn't have a logo because it wasn't a thing. It was just a Facebook group. There was nothing behind it. It's just a Facebook group.
Yeah.
And the Facebook group was named after a deal that we spoke at. Anyways, just that was it. So I had that logo drawn on a piece of paper, and we wanted to sponsor this event out in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some of the stuff hanging on my walls, but anyways, you can't see it. So the guy asked me for a logo, and I was like, I don't even know where to get a logo. And so I sent that rough draft to a dude in like Pakistan or wherever on I mean, seriously, like just whatever that was, I sent it to him on Fiverr, and he sent me back a couple of logos, and I picked that one, and well, there's another one. I think y'all can see it where it says Roughneck 2 Real Estate with the house rig in the middle. So yeah, I picked those two, and
y'all definitely stole that from Randy Rogers.
Dude, I wish, but I didn't even. That was the funny part when it came out. That's when everybody started saying, "Hey, you stole it from Randy Rogers." Now, this is something. You know what these are, Rob?
Look, this is a kid-friendly show.
But do you see what I got here?
I see what you got.
This, I don't know how many years ago I did this, but these are the only ones that are left. But everybody has business cards. Like, so you go to your super investor meetup down in Houston, everybody's got a business card. And I wanted to grow the Facebook group. So I had this QR code made, and there's a company that'll print this straight on the condoms, but we weren't able to do it in time. So we got stickers, and we had to go buy like 500 condoms. And so we had a booth there, like, people would have at your group. And we had this backdrop up, and we were handing out condoms.
That's what I love about you guys.
Let me get the koozie
out.
And we got the koozie here, and it says, don't get. And anyways, so we'd hand you a koozie, and it would be stacked full of our business card. And that's what I would hand out because I knew that we would get remembered. Well, you know who stole that from me?
Who?
Cardone. He years later, I don't know who told him about it, but he had it put onto a condom, Cardone Capital. Before you get fucked by another investor, here's a condom so you're safe. And I was like, bro, you're 2 years late to the game. So, I mean, if people tell me I stole that from Randy Rogers all the time, but I didn't know Randy Rogers had it until I already had made it.
It's also another place called River Run ATV Park.
Dude, I need to go there. I got a side-by-side. You got a side-by-side?
Oh, yeah.
We need to go.
Yeah,
I want to go to this place by Marble Falls. It's rock climbing. I don't know if you like rock. You don't like rock?
I'm not rock climbing, man. I'm not doing it. Sorry.
We need to road trip to the Panhandle then and do everything.
We can definitely do that.
There's a place up there. It's a river bottom. It is awesome. It's mud. It's rock. It's got everything. I don't know how many thousand acres. It's a state park though. But we need to do some of that because I've got a side by side. I bet it's got 10 hours on it. I never ride it. There's another place on the Red River. It's pretty cool. What do you got down by Houston other than River Run?
River Run's there's some places I've never been to in Houston, actually.
See, I'm not good at mud, though. I've got a rock climber, so it's not really set up, but I'll watch y'all mud all day. And then y'all can just hook your winch on and pull me through. I don't have snorkels or any of that, so I probably can't go through most of the stuff y'all got.
Yeah. I mean, I got my razor's about 8-inch lifts sitting on 35s. Yeah.
Mine's completely stock, but I got the 2019 or 2020. I don't remember. It's 19 for sure. Damn.
There we go. The stereo system in it's worth more than the bike.
Dude, mine's all factory. It has nets, and it has that's it. It's got nets and a GPS.
Yeah.
Those are the two add-ons that I got. I need to do something with it. I need to get it out and ride it. Like need. It's probably, heck, I mean, I crank it up every once in a while, but don't do enough. But we'll get together and do that, Rob.
Let's do it, man.
If you're on here, follow Rob on Facebook. Where else can they find you?
They can call me at 903-806-4400. That's my personal cell phone number, or rob@jetlending.com. Be more than happy to help you. But I tell you what, the guy sitting right there, he can help you with the loan as well.
Well, look, we're going to continue to work at it. We're still learning. If you've got real good, deep questions, we're going to ask Rob anyways. So but definitely tell them that you heard about it from here, because that'll get us some brownie points in the office. I need brownie points in the office. But anyways, we got it, man. I appreciate you coming on. We need to make this like a weekly or every 2 week thing. My schedule's crazy. So next week.
Mine is too. So, and I appreciate the time, and thank you for allowing me to do this.
No, it's no problem. Appreciate it. See you later.
All right, buddy.